Hi my dear students, welcome back to my channel. So welcome back to 2023 board examination preparation video series. My dear students, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel because you will be receiving the new videos which will be posted for 23 board examination preparation. So you can also follow me on my Instagram and Telegram group. So the videos which I post in YouTube and the PDFs related to this video will be also shared in my Telegram group. So students, today's video is all about the most important concepts and the questions from that concepts definitely which you can expect in the examination. So meanwhile, as I'm explaining the question answers, along with this, some important concept related to this question or the topics will also be explained along with the question answers. So without skipping the video, do watch the entire video. So this is going to definitely help in all the aspects for your examination preparation. And this video, both state as well as SC students, both the board students can follow. So without wasting much time, let me start today's class, my dear students. So the first question is, mention any one point of difference between the pepsin and trypsin. So when we talk about pepsin and trypsin, see the pepsin and trypsin, basically these are the enzymes. Where are they present, you have to know. So let me now tell you first which are the different enzymes which you have to learn with respect to examination point of view. Okay, see firstly the enzymes which is present in your mouth, that is called as salivary amylase. Okay, salivary amylase is present in the mouth, my dear students. So salivary amylase is present in the mouth. Okay, so the enzyme which is present in the mouth is salivary amylase. So this is very important. What is the function of this? This will break the starch into sugar. Okay, this will break the starch into sugar. So moving to next, the next enzyme which is present in the stomach area, so that is pepsin. So pepsin is present in the stomach. What is the function of pepsin? Pepsin breaks down the protein, my dear students. Pepsin, it breaks down the protein. Moving to next, there is also enzymes which is present in the pancreas. We will call that as pancreatic enzymes. So which are the pancreatic enzymes? The pancreatic enzymes are namely trypsin, okay, and followed by lipase, and also we have another enzyme called as amylase. So these are the different enzymes present in the pancreas. So along with this question, you are also able to learn these new concepts, so which is very important again with respect to examination. Okay, so saliva contains salivary amylase enzyme, stomach contains an enzyme called pepsin which help in breaking down the protein, and pancreas contains pancreatic enzymes namely trypsin, lipase and amylase. So my question is all about one point of difference you have to write between pepsin and trypsin. So where is pepsin present? Pepsin is present in the stomach, my dear students. So where is trypsin present? Trypsin is present in the pancreas. It is present in the pancreas in the pancreatic enzymes as pancreatic enzymes. Okay. So now pepsin, which is an enzyme which is present in the stomach, will always work in the acidic medium, my dear students, because stomach releases hydrochloric acid, so which will help in killing the microorganisms and also makes the food acidic medium. So this pepsin will work in the acidic medium. Very important thing which you have to know. Secondly, when I talk about trypsin, this trypsin will work in the alkaline medium, because see food from the stomach, when it enters to the next level, that is to the small intestine, so the acidic food will get converted into alkaline medium, my dear students. So trypsin works in the alkaline medium, pepsin works in the acidic medium. Very, very important. Okay. So pepsin is secreted by which, the substance which is present in the stomach? It is secreted by the gastric juice, because this gastric juice will activate the enzyme called as pepsin. Very important. So many concepts you are able to understand here. Okay. So whereas trypsin is secreted by which, which particular, the organ? It is secreted by pancreas, and Where exactly in the pancreas? It is present in the pancreatic juice. Okay. So very importantly, you have to know there is difference between pepsin and trypsin. Pepsin works in the acidic medium, trypsin works in the alkaline medium. Okay. Pepsin is secreted by the gastric juice, trypsin is secreted by the pancreatic juice. Okay. And where is pepsin secreted? It is secreted in the stomach, and trypsin is being secreted in the small intestine with the help of pancreas, because pancreas releases pancreatic enzymes, and that is being secreted in the small intestine. Okay. So these many things you have to know when we talk about pepsin and trypsin. And apart from this, you also got an extra knowledge about the enzymes which you have to learn with respect to examination point of view. Yes, I hope you found this entire concept useful now. So now let's go for next question, my dear students. So the next question is the question number 2. So the next question is, explain the ways in which glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen. Again, this concept is very important. See, when we talk about the breakdown of glucose, we always have to focus 3 things. So what happens to the glucose when it broken down in the presence of oxygen, in the absence of oxygen, and also in the lack of oxygen. So now in the question they are asking all about what happens to glucose when it is broken down in the absence of oxygen. See, when I talk about absence of oxygen, my dear students, you have to know that we are talking about yeast. Okay, so the respiration is taking in the yeast. Okay, yes. See, in the absence of oxygen, what happened, you know, the glucose will convert into ethyl alcohol, or we call it as ethanol. Okay, so ethyl alcohol is also called as ethanol. Along with this, what are the other products released? The other products released are carbon dioxide and energy. Okay, so carbon dioxide and energy is released. Okay, so for example, see, when yeast is getting when it is respiring, when yeast is getting respiration, or when it is undergoing respiration, so what happens, you know, the yeast will respire in the absence of oxygen. So where in that particular state, what happened? It converts the sugar, that is, it converts the glucose molecule into ethanol. It converts the glucose molecule into ethanol. Okay, and this process we will call this as fermentation. What do we call this as? We will call it as fermentation. So you're getting an extra point here, fermentation. What is fermentation? So it is the process where the yeast respire in the absence of oxygen. As a result of it, what happened? The conversion of sugar molecules takes place to form ethanol, or sugar get converted to form ethanol. This process is called fermentation. Right. So see here, in the lack of oxygen, what happened? So this is another point. So we are now talking about the first thing we spoke about, you know, yeast, complete absence of oxygen. In second case, we are talking about the lack of oxygen, that means insufficient oxygen. So here, see, the respiration, this kind of respiration usually takes place in the muscle cells. So here what happened? The oxygen molecules get converted into lactic acid. Okay, so breakdown of glucose takes place in the lack of oxygen. As a result of it, what happened here? We can see that the lactic acid is being formed in the muscle cell. As a result of it, what happened, you know? So when the lactic acid is secreted in the muscles, we can observe it causes the muscle cramps, my dear students. And this kind of muscle cramps basically be seen in the athletes, and also the person who suddenly, you know, they start to run or do any kind of physical exercises. Okay, very important. So you have to understand this. This is very important. Yes. So now moving to next. So I hope you understood this question. So moving to next, the next question is, list the 3 differences between the arteries and veins. So very important question. Always we have to focus about these blood vessels. So arteries are one type of blood vessels, veins are another type of blood vessels. So what do arteries do? This can be asked for either 1 mark or can be asked for 2 marks also, my dear students. See, first of all, arteries, they are the blood vessels. What does it do? It carries the oxygenated blood. it carries the oxygenated blood from where? From the heart to all the parts of the body. Correct? So it's very important. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from where? From heart to all the parts of the body. And you must also know, my dear students, see, all the arteries in our body, they carry oxygenated blood. What do they carry? They carry oxygenated blood. Similarly, all the veins carry deoxygenated blood. All the veins carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, but the only artery which carry deoxygenated blood is pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery is the only artery carries the deoxygenated blood. Similarly, see, when I talk about veins, what do veins do? Veins carry deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body back to the heart. Okay, what do they carry? They carry the deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body back to the heart. But the only vein which carries the oxygenated blood is pulmonary vein. Okay, they can ask the question in the examination, name the artery which carries the deoxygenated blood. Which artery? Pulmonary artery. Name the vein which carry, the oxygenated blood, the pulmonary vein. So you're not only learning difference here, you're also knowing about the concept in detail. It's very important. Okay, this is the first difference. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to all the parts. Veins carry deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body back to the heart. Okay, yes. So the next, what you write, see, in the artery the bloods will be under more pressure, because see, when heart is pumping the blood, the blood from the heart will flows to all the parts. So when it is pushing the the blood, it is under high pressure. The blood will be under high pressure. So the arteries, or in the arteries, the blood flows under high pressure or more pressure. Similarly, in the veins, the blood will be no longer under pressure, because see, for the veins, or in the veins, the blood from different parts of the body is flowing back to the heart. So when it is going back, there will be no longer, that is, the blood will be no longer under pressure. So the pressure is very less, or you can see it has low pressure. Okay, so it's very important to know. So arteries have the blood under high pressure, and the veins have bloods under low pressure. And one more important thing, see, in the arteries the valves are absent. Why? Because the blood will be flowing in one direction. See, it goes to multi-direction, but from heart it is going right. So the blood will be under high pressure. So valves are not present. Whereas in the veins, see, veins carry blood in the backward direction. Okay, so to prevent the backflow of blood, the valves are present in which region? It is present in the veins. So in the veins, the valves are present to prevent the backflow of blood. Okay, very important. Yes. So now let us go for the next question, my dear students. I hope it's it's easy for you to follow, because here you're not only learning the difference, along with the difference, you're also understanding the reason. Okay, in exam they can ask like this, valves are present in the veins, give reason. What is the reason? Because in the valve, that is in the veins, the blood will be flowing backwards. To prevent the backflow of blood, valves are present in the veins. So this kind of questions also can be asked in the examination. Very important, my dear students. So moving to fourth question, see, draw a neat label diagram of human brain. You can expect either human brain or human heart for sure. So learn very importantly, because this will be asked for 4 marks. Okay, so here you have to draw the human brain and label medulla and cerebellum. Where is medulla? See, this part is called as cerebellum. First of all, this is called as cerebellum. So where is medulla? Medulla is present in the hindbrain only, in this region. You can observe this region, what you are seeing is medulla, and the the one which is like a small bulged shape here, this is called as cerebellum. What is it called as? It is called as cerebellum. So you want to label medulla and cerebellum. And also you have to write the functions of these two parts. So what is the function of medulla, children? Medulla is also called as medulla oblongata. Okay. So the function of medulla oblongata is it controls the involuntary actions. Involuntary actions means the actions which are not under our control. So some of the involuntary actions like blood pressure, salivation and vomiting, they are not under your control. You can't control the vomiting. You can't control the saliva which is coming in your mouth. You cannot control the blood pressure which is rising in your body. Okay, these are all involuntary actions, and these involuntary actions are controlled by medulla. Followed by cerebellum. See, this part is actually, again, as I told you, it is present in the hindbrain, and this is responsible for voluntary actions, my dear students. Okay, what are some of the voluntary actions which are being controlled by cerebellum? Say for example, walking in the straight line. See, if you walk, whether you want to walk in straight line or whether you want to walk zigzagly, whatever, okay, so this will be under your control. Okay, and whether you want to sit straightly, so your body posture, whether if you are cycling, if you want to cycle in a straight manner or you want to go like this, all these are under your control, and these kind of functions are being controlled by cerebellum. What do you write in exam? They controls the body balance and the body posture. Okay, all these things are being controlled by the cerebellum. I hope you understood. It's very important function, usually they ask in the examination. My dear students, the next question is, both overproduction and underproduction of growth hormones leads to the disorders in the body. Overproduction means more production, underproduction means less production. So what are they telling? More production or less production of growth hormone will leads to some disorders in our body. So what is the function of growth hormone? Growth hormone help in the overall growth. Growth hormone help in the overall growth of the human body. If this growth hormone, if it secretes in more amount, what happen? It leads to a condition called gigantism. The person will be very taller. The person will be very taller. Okay. Next, if the same growth hormone, if it is produced in the less quantity, what happen? That condition leads to dwarfism. That means the person will be very shorter. He is very dwarf. Okay. So growth of, that is release of more growth hormone leads to gigantism. Release of less growth hormone leads to dwarfism. Both are very important, my dear students. Okay. So you have to know all the functions of hormones. Okay. Growth hormone, thyroid hormone and adrenaline hormone, testes, ovaries. You should know the functions of all the hormones. So now let's go for next sixth question. So the sixth question again, name the common nutrient that is absorbed. Okay. So name the common nutrient that is absorbed in small intestine and also reabsorbed by the kidney tubules. So this kind of questions, when they ask, you feel little bit confused. What are they asking? They are asking you have to name a nutrient, and this nutrient is absorbed in the small intestine and reabsorbed in the kidneys. Okay. See, what is first of all absorbed in small intestine? See, the food which has been completely digested will be converted into glucose. Correct na? So this glucose is absorbed in the small intestine. Correct. And the same glucose will be also reabsorbed by the kidney tubules, because this is needed by body. Suppose if the blood is getting filtered, what is the function of the nephrons present in the kidney? They filter the blood. So when they filter the blood, the good amount of amino acids, glucose, salts, they are all reabsorbed. Okay, you have a process called reabsorption. Good things which is needed by the body get reabsorbed. Okay, so when they ask this kind of question, little bit you have to use the concept which you have learned. You have to apply the pressure on your memory so that you will get the answer. Okay, so the nutrient, firstly, this is easy. Which nutrients is absorbed in small intestine? It is glucose. And in the nephron, during reabsorption, the same glucose get reabsorbed. Okay? Yes. So moving to next question, my dear students. The next question is pertaining to the endocrine system. See, we are talking now about the endocrine system. See, this question is related to endocrine system now. So related to endocrine system, what will you interpret? So based on these three questions, what will you tell? And these three questions are related to endocrine system. What is all about endocrine system? Endocrine system means what? It is all about the hormonal system. So the hormones which is released in your body, that is the chemicals which is released in your body, is all present in the endocrine system. The first question is related to endocrine system. You observe swollen neck in the people living in the hills. This is something, skill based question we say. Concept is easy, but this is a skill based question. So if we observe swollen neck in the people who are living in the hills, what is the problem related to endocrine system? See, if a person is having the swollen neck, that is nothing but this person is having the deficiency of iodine. When there is deficiency of iodine, what happens? Thyroid gland does not function properly. And when thyroid gland does not function properly, what happens? Thyroxine hormone is not released. Correct? So basically deficiency of iodine leads to the swollen neck, and this condition is called what? This condition is called as goiter. What is it called as? It is called as goiter. So now related to endocrine system, swollen neck in the people who are living in the hill is because they are suffering from the lack of iodine, because people who are on the hills are away from the sea. That is a simple logic. Okay. See, swollen neck is the appearance in the people living in the hill is due to the what? Lack of iodine. Swollen neck is nothing but it is because of lack of iodine. Okay. And why does this happen? Because see, people who are living in the hill station, that is in the higher altitude, may not get sufficient amount of iodine to that place. So that leads to what? Deficiency of iodine. Okay. And the soil which is present in that region also might be deficient in iodine. Water is also having less iodine content in it. Okay. So these are all the various reasons. Okay. So basically what you have to write here is simple. So if you don't write these many points also, simply what you have to write here is you can write deficiency of iodine leads to the condition called swollen neck, and that condition is called goiter, my dear students. Very easy. Okay. Yes. Let's go for next question. The next question is oversecretion of growth hormone takes place during the childhood. Definitely. See, when you are in the childhood, what happens? The growth hormones start to release, and it is releasing in the more amount, because as you are all children, this hormone plays a prominent role when you are in childhood. Okay. So if this releases in more amount, as already I told you, it leads to gigantism. Okay. And if a person is gigant, what happens? He does not have the proper growth. So we call it as abnormal growth in the body parts and also bones. This is all due to the increased secretion of what? The growth hormone. And why this growth hormone is released in excess quantity? Who is playing major role behind this? This is all because of the pituitary gland, my dear students. See, pituitary gland is present in the brain. This is called as master gland. Okay. This master will tell to the growth hormone to release more growth hormone or less growth hormone. Okay. Who is playing a key role here? Pituitary gland is playing the key role. It is telling the growth hormone to release more or less growth hormone. If it is more, the result is gigantism. If it is less, the result is dwarfism. Okay. So many concepts I am covering in this video. So definitely this is going to help for your final exam. Okay. Do understand the concepts. Next, see, facial hair develops in the boys at the age 13. Because why? He is an adolescent. Correct. See, facial hair growth in the body of children at the age 13 is due to two reasons. One is children because over secretion of thyroid hormone. Thyroid hormone is responsible for overall metabolism. You may wonder, Why thyroid hormone is playing role? What is the role of thyroid hormone in the development of facial hair? Because for overall body metabolism, thyroid hormone is playing a role. Next, hyperactivity of sex hormone. Which is a sex hormone? Testosterone. Testosterone is the sex hormone. Okay, if testosterone is released in more quantity, what happens in that boy's body or in that boy's face? We can see the growth of more facial hair. Whereas in the case of female, it is estrogen. But now we don't want to talk about estrogen. As we are talking about boys, let's only concentrate on the testosterone. Okay? Yes. So now let's go for the next 8th question. So the 8th question is, just a minute. Okay, it has just went up. So the 8th question is, a variegated leaf with the green and yellow patches is used for an experiment. It is used for an experiment to prove that chlorophyll is required for photosynthesis. This is based on the activity. This is an activity based question. So before the experiment, green portions A and the pale yellow portions B are observed. See, what are we taking here? We are taking a variegated leaf with the green and yellow patches. That means I have a leaf. Okay, so this leaf has both yellow patches and the green patches. So let me now just highlight it. Just me now highlight it with the yellow color patches. Okay, this is having the yellow patch, and also this variegated leaf also has some green patches on it. Okay, there is yellow patch and also there is green patch on this leaf. Okay, so now wow, what are they asking here is, see, these two patches are been observed. So what will be the color of A just before and after the starch test? They are asking. There are two colors. One is yellow color you are observing, one is green color you are observing. My question is, what is the color of this A? What is this A? A is green color, correct na? What is the color of this green patch on the leaf before and after the starch test? Okay, also write the equation for photosynthesis and mark as well as validate from which molecule byproduct is obtained. That means during photosynthesis, how the products are being obtained, we are going to write. See children, just before the starch test, this will be pale yellow in color only, because this is a combination of both yellow and green. But once we do the iodine test, when I drop the iodine on this variegated leaf, what happened? Wherever there is starch present, where is starch present? Wherever there is green area, starch present in that area. So wherever there is starch present, that area will turn to blue black. So it will turn to what? It will turn to blue black. Okay, so this will indicate that this blue black color indicate the presence of starch. Okay, so very easy question. So what are they asking next? Nextly, they are asking you to write the equation for photosynthesis. So what is the equation? What do you write for photosynthesis? How does the photosynthesis take place? See, when I talk about the photosynthesis, you want to know which are the products, or which are the reactants involved in the photosynthesis. See, for the photosynthesis reaction to happen, we need carbon dioxide. Just a while. So for the photosynthesis reaction to happen, we need carbon dioxide and we also need the water. So this carbon dioxide and water, in the presence of sunlight, always you must write this on this arrow mark, my dear students, sunlight, and also in the presence of chlorophyll. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, what happened? This carbon dioxide and water will prepare the glucose. Formula of glucose is C6H12O6. Along with this, what is been released? Oxygen and the water molecules are also being released, my dear students. So this equation you have to write to represent the photosynthesis. Okay. So now the next question is, so you have to validate. So which are the molecules are used for this product to be received? See here we are using that is oxygen is obtained. You can see oxygen is formed here, right? So this oxygen is obtained from the water molecule present in the reactant. Okay, and this splitting up of water also results in the formation of hydrogen. Okay, and this, where is that hydrogen present? Hydrogen is present in the glucose and also it is present in the water molecule as well. Okay, so you must know. So to know this better, you have to know about the steps which is been followed during the photosynthesis, my dear students. See, what are the different steps which are been followed during the photosynthesis? Or you can say, we can also say the events. So this is the best word because it is given in the textbook. Okay, so list the events which takes place during the photosynthesis. First, what happened when I talk about event? So absorption of light energy takes place. So absorption of light energy is the first event takes place. Okay, absorption of light energy, and the light energy which is been absorbed, what happened? This light energy gets converted. So conversion of light energy takes place into chemical energy. And thirdly, what happened? The water molecules get splitted. What happens? So after the conversion, what happens? So let me write here. So splitting up of water molecules takes place. Okay, then what happened? Reduction of carbon dioxide will help to form the carbohydrates. Splitting up of water molecules will make what? Hydrogen as well as oxygen. Very importantly, you have to know. Okay, I think you understood this concept. So let me go for next 9th question, my dear students. The 9th question is, see, explain the process of aerobic respiration in mitochondria of a cell, anaerobic respiration in the yeast, and muscle with the help of word equation. Always don't forget to read this schematic representation, is very important. What is happening here? See, they are asking aerobic respiration. That means, what is aerobic respiration? The respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen. Respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen is called as aerobic, and this kind of respiration takes place in the mitochondria. Where does it take place? It takes place in the mitochondria. And what is anaerobic respiration? Respiration which takes place in the absence of oxygen. So absence of oxygen. So where does it take place? It takes place in the yeast cell. Next, when I talk about muscle cell, okay, we always talk that lack of oxygen. So in the muscle cells, what happened? Due to the lack of oxygen, what is being released? Lactic acid is being released. Lactic acid is being released. So very importantly, you have to understand. Very important, my dear student, is schematic representation. What is happening here? So we have glucose. So how do we get this glucose? When food is digested, we get glucose in our body. So the glucose which is being released here, when it enter into cytoplasm of the cell, 6 molecule of glucose will break down into 3 carbon molecule. Okay, we call this as pyruvate. Okay, and this carbon molecule, in the absence of oxygen, it releases ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. Where does this happen? This happens in the yeast cell. This pyruvate, that is 3 carbon molecule, in the lack of oxygen, that is in the muscle cell, it releases lactic acid and energy. And this carbon, that is pyruvate molecule, in the presence of oxygen, where in the mitochondria, releases carbon dioxide, water and energy. You can expect 1 mark question, you can expect MCQ question, and also you can expect 3 mark question here. So very important concept, my dear students, very important. Okay, the same thing is been explained in this paragraph. So the same thing is been explained in this paragraph. So do read this concept without fail. You have to read this concept. Either you have to write the schematic representation or you can explain. Okay, so it's better if it is for 3 marks, do write schematic representation, especially CBSE board, and also explain. Okay, so now I am discussing the last question for today's session. Again, this is a very important concept. So here I am asking, explain, giving the reason, the bending of shoot tip of a plant towards this light source coming from one side of the plant. So let me read this question once again. See, what is my question? We are asking to explain, to give reason. What happened? See, there is a plant here. This plant is bending its shoot. It is bending its shoot. Okay. So towards where it is bending its shoot towards the sunlight. Sunlight is falling in this direction. The shoot is bending towards the sunlight. So what is the reason behind this, they are asking. So you all have learnt about hormones, plant hormones. So who is present at the tip of plant, shoot tip of plants? Auxin is present. So auxin help in bending the shoot tip. Why? Because see, actually this auxin is present in the shoot tip of the plant, children. This is helpful for cell elongation. What is the function of auxin? This will help for cell elongation. Okay, when sunlight is falling in one direction, the cells which are present in that region will elongate. As a result of it, what happened? The weight of the cell increases. So that what happened? The plant easily bend towards the sunlight. Very simple concept. So auxin is a hormone. Auxin is a hormone. So this auxin hormone is causing the plant to bend towards its sunlight, my dear students. Okay, and if this auxin is synthesized by the cells, okay, in proper quantity, what happened? We can see more of, the plant is bending towards the sunlight. Okay, so once again, it's a very easy concept, very simple thing you remember. Why it is bending? Because wherever auxin is produced, wherever auxin hormone is produced, cell elongation is taking place. When cell get elongated, that particular part, what happened? The plant is bending towards the sunlight. The plant is bending towards the sunlight. Okay, so very simple concept. Okay, so 4 hormones also you have to learn. The 4 hormones which you have to learn are, first one is auxin, second one is gibberellin. Auxin, gibberellin spelling Gibberellin, gibberellin. And the third one is cytokinin. You should know about cytokinin, and also you have to know about the next hormone, that is abscisic, abscissic, abscisic acid. So all the 4 plant hormones are very important. The function of auxin, they are present in the shoot tip of plant, help in cell elongation. Gibberellin, help in the growth of stem. Cytokinin, help in cell division. Abscisic acid, help in stopping the growth of plant. We say it inhibits the growth of plant. Okay, so my dear students, in today's video I just explained 10 questions, but in this 10 questions you got lot of ideas, you got lot of the concepts which can also be asked in various ways. Okay, we are not only focusing on one topic and one question. Here I have focused on many concepts. So if it is related, the answer is related to one question, but we have seen that answer in many angles. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. So if you find this video useful, don't forget to share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and do drop the precious comments in the comment area. You can also follow me on my Instagram and Telegram. So I will be meeting you with a few more important concept based questions in my next video. Until then, take care, don't stop studying, keep studying, and take rest. Thank you so much for watching my video, my dear students.